just to celebrate, oh. Like saying now you're biting, oh. My baby in one day. Breakfast on the jet, you know. Cruising, that's reject, oh. That day, not today, you know. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. And every shine like, oh, 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 yeah, oh, 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 give me that, oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, who be that, oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, give me that, oh, 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 yeah, oh, who be that, oh. Bad energies, stay far away. I pray for more life and I pray for grace. I know that man can't take my place. No, they can't take my place. We only do big things. Oh. We turn up to shut down. We know they like small things. Because we know they hear what now. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. And they be shine like, oh, 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 yeah, oh, 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 give me that, oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, who be that, oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, give me that, oh, 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 yeah, oh, who be that, oh, oh, yeah, oh, give me that, oh. Jiggy that body, I go go. Shake that body, I go go. Jiggy that body, I go go. Shake that body, I go go. Do come on, deep on more. Keep you jiggy that body, I go go. I was pretty on my body, I go go. Keep you jiggy that body, I go go. One day, every day will be Friday, no. We got just to celebrate, oh. Like saying now you're biting, no. My baby in one day. Breakfast on the jet, you know. Cruising, that's reject, oh. That day, not today, you know. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. And they be shine like, oh, 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 yeah, oh, 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 give me that, oh. Oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, who be that, oh? Oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, give me that, oh. Oh, oh, yeah, oh, who be that, oh? Bad energies, stay far away. I pray for more life and I pray for grace. I know that man can't take my place. No, they can't take my place. We only do big things. We turn up to shut down. We know they like small things. Because we know they hear what now. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. Big things are happening now. More this, more that, more grace, oh. More cash, more babes, oh. More cars. And they be shine like, oh, 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 yeah, oh, 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 give me that, oh. Oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, who be that, oh. Oh, 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 yeah, oh, oh, give me that, oh. Oh, oh, yeah, oh, who be that, oh. Oh, yeah, oh, give me that, oh. jiggy that body, yeah, go go. Shake it, that body, yeah, go go. Jiggy that body, yeah, go go. Shake it, that body, yeah, go go. Do come on, deep on more. Keep it jiggy that body, yeah, go go. I was turning on my money, yeah, go go. Keep it jiggy that body, yeah, go go.
Hi, welcome, Washington. All righty. Hello, everybody. I am Nzali. This is Nzali Takes Africa. Hi, everybody watching on YouTube. Those who are watching on Instagram, let me know that you can hear me and that you can see me, because that's the most important part for today, that you can hear me and that you can see me. I know it's morning for my people who are on the East Coast. I know that it's afternoon, evening for my people who are in Africa, but nonetheless, we're going to rock with it, y'all. Those who are watching me on Instagram, thank you for joining in. I saw Lockdown on YouTube. I saw Frida. She's representing Liberia and New York. No, sorry, Liberia, Ghana, and New York. So 3 places. So she's West Africa, in Africa, and then she on the East Coast in the States. So for those of you who are new to me, my name's Nzali. I help women create the life that they deserve while living on the African continent. And I am super excited. I'm super excited because this year, 2025, is a monumental year for me on my journey, living abroad, living in Africa. For those who have been following me for some time, and for those who know me personally, you all have heard me mention it. But I'm going to tell the new folks why I'm so excited and why this is my monumental year. This is my 10th year. Can y'all count that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 years I have been living abroad, living on the African continent. I'm going to clap for myself. And I'm excited about it. And not only am I excited about it because I've never lived anywhere that consistently, you know, I was the type of person couldn't let grass grow under my feet. But I'm excited because I did something I thought that wasn't even possible for me. I've been doing it, and I've been doing it well. And I think now is a very critical time for my community in the States to look at their options. And so, because I want my people to look at our options, see what's out there. Hi, Tiffany. Thank you for joining in on Instagram. I want to explain to my people, like, what are all of our options? Where can we go? The place that has worked for me has been in Africa. For those who are new, I lived in South Africa, and then I moved to Ghana. I now am a citizen, so I have dual citizenship for Ghana and the United States. And we're in some interesting times. You know, I was a former educator. Yesterday, I saw that there were some major layoffs and, you know, telling people to work from home for the U.S. Department of Education. And when I started teaching was a very stable career, right? You teach, you go into a retirement, you retire, you get your retirement. When you get older, you get your Social Security. Very stable. Well, it's not looking that way anymore. And if it's doing that for educators, I know it's doing that for other people in other industries. So today we're talking about options. I know I've said this a million times before, but today I'm saying it again. We are talking about our options. And so I have a very special guest that I want to introduce to you all after I play this video. All right, y'all. All right, y'all. Today I have a very, very special guest who is here to talk to us about options. And one of the biggest options that you need to opt into this weekend is the Africa Investors Summit. I have Ashley Cleveland here today. She is the founder of Africa Investors Academy. Right. So she's been on the continent almost as long as I. Similar to myself, she's also lived in 2 countries. She's lived in Tanzania. She's now in South Africa, and she has made a way for herself. You know, I like to think of folks like us like we're trailblazers. We've cleared the field for you. Now we're bringing you how you can just come on in with your foundational pieces, make it easy for yourself. And so that's what this summit is all about. I'm going to let her come on up and do a little bit more explaining of who she is and what the summit is all about and why you should opt in. Okay, we're opting out of some of the foolishness in the West. We're going to opt into some opportunity on the African continent. So I would like to welcome Miss Ashley. Hello.
Hello, Nzali. Hello, the Nzali Takes Africa family. Nzali, thank you so much for having me. I was backstage jamming to that video. My
I
friend.
love the music. Yes, I love it. I love it.
Yes, she is just amazing. But I'm going to get into that. I'm going to get into some of the opportunities that exist. I love that. We're opting out of the foolishness and we're opting into other alternatives. Not only that where we can survive, but where we can really, really thrive, right? We can thrive. We can allow our nervous systems to take a break. We can be at ease in our life while building generational wealth at the same time, right? So you guys can be building generational wealth, but if you don't have no generations to pass it down to in an environment that is trying to make it so that you are extinct, then what are we doing?
Exactly.
You know, then what are we doing? So thank you for having me. I'm so honored to be here and share with your community. I'm Ashley, everyone. I'm Ashley Cleveland here on YouTube and other platforms known as Ashley in Africa. I've been living on the continent of Africa, not as long as you, Nzali. I don't have that much, like I'm getting there. Over 4 years. Yeah, over 4 years. This year will be 5 years. I've lived in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and now living in South Africa, my second home country. I absolutely love it here. And on this journey, I discovered that doing business and migrating seemed to be a challenge for a lot of people. I mean, rightfully so. It's not just around the corner, it's a whole nother continent. And so through those things, you know, you need to recognize the challenges that will come. Always having reputable, trustworthy talent like attorneys, like immigration support, people that are experts in their industries of tourism, real estate, manufacturing. And so we created the Africa Investors Academy, which is a community of entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, and investors who ultimately want to invest and do business here on the continent of Africa in multiple countries. So we work and specialize in supplying resources and experts in Ghana, Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, and Mauritius, and growing. So we're growing, the community is growing. It's fantastic. And I created this platform and this community to provide access to information that wasn't readily available to me, wasn't readily available to you, Nzali, when you were making this transition. And not only that, but how to really get involved. We know Africa is the future. It's not just the future, it's now. But when we look at talent, we look at agriculture, like when we look at these things, Africa is where the economy is going and coming to for their resources, their talent. So we don't need to miss out on that. You know, we don't need to miss out. And I created this community so that people get support on their journey.
Awesome. So I know you have this community. There are people who are already in the community, but I kind of want to look at this summit because this is for the people who haven't already been introduced to you and what you do and all the wonderful work that you're doing. What was the inspiration behind having the Africa Investors Summit? And then what impact do you think is going to have on the entrepreneurs, the investors, the everyday folk who are going to actually join in, who are watching now and who'll be seeing us on the weekend?
Yeah, that's a great question. So the inspiration was, I'm here, I'm learning about all these opportunities. I'm seeing people become millionaires through selling avocados, selling tomatoes, selling chickens, or, like raising chickens, right? I'm seeing people become trillionaires with their real estate, construction, with mining. With, I'm seeing people become millionaires through tourism, and there are some that don't look like us, right? And there are some that do look like us. And I said, okay, there are so many opportunities, and people want to know. Like, one of the biggest questions I would get is like, what opportunities are there? What opportunity? And I could speak to them. I could do a video, I could write a list and say, these are all the top opportunities. But then I said, how about if I pull the people that are doing this thing, that have been successful doing this thing, let me pull them all together in one room, technically, right? Which is not a physical room, but a virtual room, because everything is online. Let me pull them together from all over the continent and the destinations where people have an interest, right? People are really interested in Ghana because of what the government is doing there for the African diaspora. People are really interested in Kenya, Nairobi, because of its world-class global, feeling of a city. People are really interested in South Africa because of the culture. You see all of the content online, Blood and Water and Young, Rich, and African. So like, people are interested in these countries, and they're also great countries for the African diaspora. Like, there are 54 countries and there are different things in every country. But from being here for about almost 5 years, I'm seeing where people go and they tend to last. And it's these countries. Oh, and Tanzania, which is where I lived as well. But I think the everyday person is going to get to see the opportunities that are available, but you're also going to get tips. You're going to get insider tips, essentially strategies that you can take action on literally during the summit to put you in alignment with future success. So you're going to save thousands of dollars, like tens of thousands of dollars in consulting with individual people. You can save up to 10 years of time, because you're going to get all this information in one place, and it will really help you to figure out, okay, which area do I want to go in? And I can now find a trusted partner that I can work with to execute on that vision.
And I like what you said just now, the trust, right? Because a lot of us have come, a lot of people have YouTube channels, a lot of people are taking consultation calls, a lot of people are doing a lot of things, right? But it's the trust. Who can I trust? I get that question a lot when people message me. Who can I trust when I'm trying to move to Africa to get the right information? And so this summit is one of those trusted places. Now, all of y'all who have been following me, y'all know I ain't gonna tell you no lie. This is the summit. These are the people who have done it, who are doing it, and we are going to give you the best information possible. But another question I have for you is, why now? I know why now for me was 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Watching in 2025, why is now the time to really start looking at global investments? Because that's what it is. We're really elevated. We're not just talking about stocks and bonds in the US, which is what you're talking about, looking at international investments, whether that means putting your money in another country to make it work for you, or you're deciding you want to relocate and make that work for you as well. Why is now the perfect time?
Great question. We are experiencing the biggest global wealth transfer in the history of our lifetime. Okay. And we're seeing it happen. The richest people in the world are richer than the richest people have ever existed, right? Relative to Mansa Musa and those that had kingdoms in Africa. But wealth originated in Africa. So even though that's a whole nother conversation, right? But we're experiencing a global wealth shift. I can get really, really deep into what is happening from a BRICS perspective, which is basically the economic conglomerate that is looking to shift the world reserve currency from the dollar to a digital currency. But that's a bit deep, right? And I tell people, listen, you don't necessarily have to Don't get too caught up in that, yes, but recognize that the world power is no longer what it was. We all in history class, if you're over the age of 30, you learned of the Roman Empire, you learned of England, great England, their history. And if you're looking at what's happening today, you see that those same powers are not dominating. But somehow we aren't seeing how, as Americans, we are losing our influence, our culture, our community, as far as in America, right? I'm not in America, but I see what's happening. It's more divided than ever. I talk to people every day. I have consultations with people every day. Things are more divided, more dangerous, more expensive. This is not a good sign of in a growing economy, a favorable environment. And you all feel it. If you feel it, type 1 in the chat. You feel it. Your body feels it. Your anxiety levels are through the roof. Your sleep is probably a bit off, right? You are seeing things that you're not used to seeing. If you feel that shift, type a 1 in the chat so that I know I'm not alone, and I know the people that I support and I work with aren't alone. So the reason why now is the best time is not only are we experiencing a global wealth transfer, it's never been easier to be financially independent as well with the internet. Like, the internet has allowed normal people to do abnormal things and to help other people all over the world. And so combined with investing in long-term assets, like, I don't know. I have background in economics, and I don't think that what we've been doing to gain wealth over the last 100 years is going to be the same strategy that we're going to gain wealth in the next 100 years. Things like bonds. The government job used to be the most secure jobs. That's not the case. So we've got to look at stock market might not be it. Real estate might not be it. What are some alternative investment opportunities that you can get involved in to literally transform your life, your legacy, like your life right now? Like, you get to live an amazing life. And I've seen so many people transform their lives by just taking an experience, taking a trip to the continent of Africa. And then why not do that and also invest your income, invest what you have to build that legacy for yourself and your family.
Yes, and legacy is such an important thing. And the concept of legacy, what I've learned in Africa, is actually quite different. It's not so much about just me and the people right next to me, but it really kind of extends to a greater community, a larger network of people. And I really feel like for our people who are in the West, who are feeling the shift, you're getting the clues, you're kind of like, I'm just not as comfortable as I used to be. This might be the change that you're looking for, right? That idea. Yeah. I think I said this a few days ago when I was talking about this on another live. I think a lot of us have to figure out how to be more in community together. Mm-hmm. I was talking to my dad, and he talks about, he was born in 1950. So he has a different experience of our community than necessarily what I grew up in, or maybe what you grew up in. But he talked about the idea of community, the idea of working together. And this summit is a place to build community, right? So this is a place where you can meet people who are like-minded, because everybody is going to go.
Right.
Everybody can't go. But there are some of us who can. There are some of us who want to have that desire. So it's time to build that community of like-minded people. Conversations, if it's new to you, or extend it if it's not new to you. And I did like that you talked about more people have access to basically doing business. And I know one of the topics that I'll be speaking about is creating a location independent business, how that can help you when you're transitioning to Africa and really sustain you while you're there. But I also want to know, what are some other key industries that other people will be speaking to at the virtual summit over the weekend?
Yeah, so we're going to be specializing. We're going to be speaking on a few different industries because there's tons of opportunity on the continent. But the things that I've seen the most accessible for people are a few things. So tourism, you can literally build your life and create make money through tourism, putting tours together, traveling with different people all over Africa. The tourism to the continent of Africa is the highest it's ever been in the history of tourism to Africa, right? This is a lot because of social media, influencers, YouTube, Instagram. People are traveling to the continent and they're sharing their experience, thus encouraging other people to do so, and that it's safe to do so, right? So tourism, number one, a great industry, doesn't take a lot of investment, a lot of capital to get started. We're going to have some experts speaking about that have made well over, six-figure tourism businesses where they bring people on a regular basis to different countries in Africa. We're also going to be talking real estate, right? Everybody knows real estate and land is a limited commodity. Africa has tons of land available for now, right? How can you get involved in real estate and do so in a way where you protect yourself and your future generations, and how you can do that in the different countries that we've talked about. We're also going to have people discussing manufacturing. This continent has a growing middle class. Unlike other places in the West where we're seeing the middle class shrinking, the continent of Africa and many of the more developed countries and cities are seeing an increase in their middle class. And what does that mean? More money to spend, more money to purchase goods. And so how can Africa become very independent? By manufacturing their own goods. We're going to be talking about consumer goods and the manufacturing process of that. We're also going to be covering creative industries. So people that are building media brands, that are building entertainment brands, that are songwriters and performers, but creating content that is helping the growth of the continent of Africa. And then for everybody that wants to know, what do you do about taxes? I'm going to have my personal tax advisor who has been helping me since I was a six-figure earning employee in the US. She's now helping me as a six-figure earning business owner in Africa, in South Africa. And she's going to teach you how you can do so legally, because your passport is attached to your taxes. I don't know if you guys know. So you've got to pay your taxes and you've got to stay on point with your taxes. But living abroad gives you many tax advantages. And last but not least, we're also going to cover mining. And mining is something that I'm really excited to share, because the people that have been benefiting from Africa's minerals and resources has not been the continent in past history. And so the way that we shift that is we empower African people by giving them information so that they can be and participate in this economic industry, because the upside is huge. I want to say, what is it? Don't misquote me, but I think it's Burkina Faso. Once they decided to refine their own minerals, it increased their budget. I think it was like 50 billion, the projections or something like that. Don't quote me. I know I'm probably misspeaking somewhere, somehow, but Africa is going to take part in their own refining and processing of minerals. But the only way we can do that is to share the information and talk about the challenges and talk about the opportunities at the same time. So those are some of the industries we're going to cover. There's everything here for you if you have, and then we're going to spot in some agriculture. We're going to spot in some retail and exporting. We're going to spot in some, construction and development, but those are the major industries. I'm so excited. There is well over $10,000 in value from all of this content and information. And if you purchase an executive access pass, you'll get to ask questions to the speakers, as well as get their contact information to work with them after the event.
Yes, and we have a really great speaker lineup here. Here are some of the folks that are going to be at this 2025 African Business Academy Virtual Summit. And as you can see, there are plenty of people from different.
Nzali, I can't hear you. It's like your echo. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, it might have been my microphone. So yeah, there are a number of different speakers that are representing different African countries that are going to be here at the summit. So it's not just, my folks, we're Ghana enthusiasts, as I like to say, but Ghana may not be the country for you. So we also have people who are representing different countries on the continent so that you can see what the industries look like on the ground and the opportunities that are there for you. All right. Hi, Jeff, watching in from Los Angeles. If you have any final questions for Ashley, you can drop them in the chat. She is going to pop out in just a second, but I always can share those with her. Also, if you want to join the summit this weekend, I will post the link here. It's also in the description on YouTube, and it's in my bio on Instagram. So, Ashley, any final words about why now, why Africa, why this virtual investor summit?
Yeah, why not Africa? I come from a very, a very activist past, being involved in, government and policy and nonpartisan policy. And listen, like, what we know historically is we have to build in order to have power, and we need to do so by having economic power. It is not enough for us to just be numbers. And we're seeing that. As influential and as impactful as the African American community has been within America, we do not have the power that we know we need to sustain ourselves long term. And in fact, our complete net worth, is expected to be, the average net worth of an African American is expected to go to zero at some point. Well, we don't only have to invest and do business in communities that are hostile towards us. We can find value in those communities. I love America. I just don't want to live there, and I just don't want to build my legacy there. But I'm grateful that I had that experience. But Africa is where it's at. It's where the world is coming together to not only invest, but to live better qualities of life, to eat better qualities of food, and to be in a space where we can actively build together. And essentially, that's why. The time is now. Don't wait any longer. You'll be kicking yourself 10 years from now, wishing you would have taken action. And so you want to join this summit because the people are there, the resources are there, the community of like-minded people are there. For those of you that watch Nzali, like, if you start talking about Africa in the wrong rooms and the wrong spaces, people are like, what you doing? Why are you doing? No, these are people that are invested, that have found success, that have found better qualities of life. And I'm just honored to be able to have created this community, this platform for other experts to tell their stories. It's not going to be all rainbows, right? But if we can help by sharing our mistakes and our failures with you so that you avoid them, I feel like everyone agrees that it's all worth it. And so in our second year, I'm just honored to be able to facilitate this process. I'm grateful to have you, Nzali, bringing your expertise of what it means to invest, tour, do business in Ghana, but also how to do so and sustain yourself. And yeah, I'm just super grateful to have you. Thank you for sharing me with your community. And I can't wait to see you all there this weekend, March 14th through the 16th, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. It's all online. You can get access to the replays with the Executive Access Pass, and you're going to want to watch those replays because there's going to be so much information. It's going to blow your mind. You're not going to be able to sleep. You're going to be like, oh my gosh, there's so many ideas. So you're going to want to watch it over and over again and share it with your family. I won't tell anybody. Share it.
Definitely. She is Ashley in Africa on Instagram as well as YouTube. There was a question on Instagram about types of visas for South Africa, but I believe you've done a number of videos about that on your YouTube channel. So I'm going to push them to Ashley in Africa on YouTube because I know I get one myself. But also, if you join the summit, you do have access to her and the other people that are there that can share that nitty-gritty information. There are a few ways to get into South Africa and stay.
There are a few ways, but we're going to be covering 3 specific ways that I've found people to be most successful, and we're going to be covering that in the summit. So go ahead, you can check out my YouTube videos, but we're going to be giving you step-by-step support for 3 specific visas that we found people get like that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Ashley. I will see you this weekend. Yes. And my people, stay on because I'm going to keep on talking and jamming with y'all for a little bit. But thank you again, Ashley, so much. And we look forward to seeing you over the weekend for the virtual summit.
Amazing. Thanks, Nzali. Thanks, family.
Bye.
See you soon.
All right, y'all. So you have heard it from the woman herself, right? We are having a virtual summit this weekend. It's going to have a lot of different speakers from different countries. So you have South Africa represented. Of course, there's Ghana, there's Tanzania. I feel like there's another East African country. I believe Kenya's in the mix. So there are a few that are going to be represented. And as she said, I know a lot of people have questions about how can I stay? How can I stay longer in that space? Well, we're going to talk about it at the summit. So join us for the summit and you will definitely see how you can stay and stay for a longer amount of time. All right, y'all. So I've been saying this for a while now, but again, I'm going to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. The time is now. If you've been on the fence, I know I saw my friend Jeff on here. Jeff, you've been on the fence since 2016. No, when did I meet? 2017. That's when we first met. Since 2017. The fence is down now. You've been on it so long, it done fell down. So now is the time. And we want to share the information with you all. It takes a village. Not all of us have the information for everything. I've never lived in East Africa, so I can't tell you nothing about Kenya or Tanzania or Rwanda or Uganda, any of those places. I know Ghana, right? I lived in South Africa, but even my experience in South Africa was very different than a person who went to South Africa with entrepreneurship in mind. So that's why we have people like Ashley and others who are going to share information about that. But the time is now. Start looking at how instead of thinking about, well, I can't this and I can't that. This is the time to come up with your plan. Okay. This is the time to get in community with people who are doing it and ask them how. Okay. Ask them how they did it. Ask them, what do you think I could do to get into the same situation? Oh, sorry, Jeff. Okay, you said 2018, but you retired. So now you retired. You got time. Okay. You got time, space, and opportunity, And so I would love to see you all at that virtual summit because, and this isn't the first one. She did one last year as well. Last year had people joining in, sharing similar information. This year is even better. So if you want to join us this weekend, go ahead right now. If you're on Instagram, go to my bio. There's a link in there for the tickets for the summit. If you're on YouTube, it is in the description. You can just click on that link, and we would love to see you this weekend. Something that I always tell people is that Africa gave me the opportunity to be an entrepreneur. And I always say that because in Africa, I was able to make money and have extra funds. Right? So with those extra funds, that meant that, okay, I can try a business here. And if it works, great. If it doesn't work, I still am living and thriving, and I live to fight another day, right? I live to try another business. So in the States, I've said this before, I was an educator, 9-to-5 type of girly. I didn't even have the thought to try to go into business, to try to have multiple streams of income. In Africa, by force, it pushed me into that space. And now I don't want to go back. At the summit, I'll be talking about creating a location independent business, meaning no matter what country you're in, you can still earn money while you're in that country. And so that's just one of the topics. But there are plenty of topics that will be discussed during that time. I see something here from William Simmons. He says, not a bad idea to consider heavy investment in Africa. The issue, among other things, is with trust and conservation of investment capital. Yes, that's something we first spoke about on this live, which was the idea of trust. So, William, I believe I met you through Guba, right? That's a trusted source. Africa's Investors Academy, made by Ashley, is also another trusted source. So it's important that when you're thinking about coming into the African market space via whichever country you choose, that you make those connections, you build that community with the right people. And so I'm vouching for Africa Investor Summit, just as I vouch for Guba, just as I vouch for myself. I've been on the continent for 10 years. These are the people that you want to be in community with because they're sharing the accurate, correct, and up-to-date information. Let me see. William also says, there are many more. You clearly need to be in Africa, but I'm sure it is not a major prerequisite. I'm not sure what that one was directly describing, but nonetheless, I am an advocate of being in Africa if you want to put your money in Africa. And I mean, like, not just a trip, but maybe you come half, right? Or maybe you're here for a few months and you're out. Or you could come full time. That's what I did, you know? So I would, encourage people to look in that space as well, to see, if you are a person who could actually be here more full time. Welcome, Omo. That's my old buddy from Ghana. Welcome. Thank you for watching in on Instagram. But also, like I said, my topic is about location independent businesses, right? I operate a virtual assistant agency that can take place anywhere in the world. Right? So during my session, I'm telling you how to set up a location independent business for the African context, how to take your environment there and merge it with your environment wherever you're coming from in the West, right? And how to still be able to make money and not always have to depend on the local currency. That's also something that you can look at. Isaac says he'd be interested in national and asset protection and security. So that is especially for East Africa. And I'm going to even say for Southern Africa, this whole idea of IT, intellectual property, security, asset protection, all of that is like the way. There's some tech hubs in Southern Africa and in East Africa that I believe are a little bit more developed than what we have in West Africa. And they're ready for that type of stuff. Right. So again, we do have some people who are representing East Africa and of course, Southern Africa that are going to be on that call. So you definitely want to make sure that you're there for the summit to connect with those people. I'm also saying that I want to believe in this because we automatically believe in European countries. So I think if I could experience and understand these components, it would be super helpful. Yes. The faith that we have in other countries, literally today, I was watching a video on Instagram, and it was a video of African immigrants who were taking one of those little raft boats over to Italy from Northern Africa. The faith you have to have in Italy, in UK, in Spain, in Portugal, and all of these places to get on a raft and try to sail over, that's the type of faith times 10 we also need to have in our repatriation back to Africa. So at this summit, we are going to be sharing what we know, those of us who have done it. Also, if you follow me on YouTube, I share my experiences there. This is not the first virtual summit, but we're going to continue because as we said at the beginning of the call, now is the time. The wealth transfer is on double time. We don't have 15 more years for us to transfer our wealth. So now is the time, and the summit is one of the stepping stones to getting more information about how to do that. Thank you for watching in from Dallas, Texas. Oh, thank you, Frat. I do appreciate your support. And again, this is for the people. Right? This is for the people. And just to speak to that, because I've seen a number of my sorority sisters and brothers on this call. Think about in African American history, our organizations were key components to our liberation and our civil rights movement. When you look at all of our older civil rights leaders, majority of them were members of these different organizations in the D9. Right? They saw the future and they moved in that direction. When you think about Africa, Ghana specifically, Nigeria as well, their first presidents were members of the D9. We saw the vision early. Now, because we've seen the vision early, Zeta has been in Africa since the 40s. Other D9 organizations are making their way to Africa. Again, this is not by accident, y'all. People are starting to see the vision. People are starting to see the light. And I'm just happy to be in light company. I'm happy to be in a sorority that saw the vision in 1940s. I'm happy to be in company with other organizations that are seeing the vision. I'm happy to be in company with people like Ashley, who got the clue and left 4 years ago for Tanzania, and now she's in South Africa. I'm happy for people like my friend Jeff, who said, well, my sister Afia moved to Ghana. Let me at least go and see what it's about. That could be you. That should be you. And again, this is the time. Now is the time. Africa is the place. And this virtual summit is one of the resources that can help you do this in a seamless manner. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all one more clip about the summit, and then we're going to get on out of here. If you have any final questions, it could be about anything right now, go ahead and drop it in the chat. Again, if you are interested in the summit, the links are in my bio on Instagram and the description on YouTube. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Always, always, always. Let me show you one more video. I'll come back, answer final questions, and then we're going to jump on out of here, y'all, and get, the rest of our Wednesday going. All right, let me go ahead and pull it up for you.
Come on. Spaghetti. Come on.
All right, y'all. Africa Investors Academy Virtual Summit is happening this weekend. This is the second year that it has been conducted. I am putting up the speakers on the screen so that you can see some of the speakers that are going to be there. Representing Ghana, I believe there are two of us. It's myself, and then there's also Hayford of Web Nation. So for those of you who are YouTube people and you love watching Web Nation videos, he will be there. Of course, he's speaking to the content creators lens. I myself am speaking about location independent businesses while living in Africa. Hi, Sheba. Thank you for joining in. Yes, there is a fee for the summit. You'll go ahead and click the link and you'll see the different prices for the summit. Again, I believe the VIP has more access. That's the time where you get to have like personal Q&A sessions with the speakers. So that one is a little bit more personalized. You can ask very specific questions to you and your circumstances when it comes to relocating or doing business or investing in Africa. All right. On Instagram, hello, Golden Jallo. I'm sending love from Senegal, West Africa. I'm telling you, I know a lot of y'all love East Africa and everything like that, but West Africa always shows up for me. So I just want to say West Side. Okay. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm just kidding, but I'm serious all at the same time. So yes, thank you all for joining in today for this live. I know I didn't tell y'all in advance. I kind of sprung it on you, but nonetheless, thank you all for rocking out with me. Again, the time is now. The place is Africa, and I am just excited that I am one in the number who can share the good news, who can spread the good news about what is happening there, how you can be a part of it, and really how we can all have a better quality of life. That's my goal. That is my goal. Peace and a high quality of life. And so for me, living in Africa has afforded me the opportunity to create that type of life for myself. And so if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure that you're following me on Instagram at Nzali Takes Africa. Also on YouTube, the same handle. And you also should follow my business page on Instagram at SWD Africa. She Works Digital Africa is a virtual assistant agency. We connect high quality, top tier African talent to Western businesses to help them scale and grow. So also, if you're a person who, you have a business and you need some additional help, right? But you're like, oh, Nzali, I need help, but I cannot afford right now to have a full-time staff member that I gotta pay taxes for, health insurance for, give them certain benefits, all of that type of stuff. Well, now might be the time for you to look at some virtual talent. So again, you can follow me on SWD Africa, or you could just take a look and visit us on our website, sheworksdigitalafrica.com. And don't forget to invest in Africa, visit Africa, and start your entrepreneurship journey. So I love y'all. Thank y'all for joining in. I will see you all on the next one. Take care of yourselves and bye. Peace out, y'all.
Bageri. Oh,